Hi, I'm James Vann. Welcome to this session of Vann Attorney's Video LegalPad. So we get a lot of questions about what is venue and choice of law provisions, and a lot of times it's in your contracts, right? So you try to figure out whether or not to have that in your contract, and if so, what should those choices be, right? So I had a client call the other day, and we had done a contract for this client a number of years ago. This person has a business located in North Carolina, and they're dealing with someone in another state. Well, of course, the person or a company they're contracting with wants the venue clause to be their state. And so this client called me and said, hey, what do you think? Should I give in to that? So the question is, if you have a dispute, hopefully you don't have a dispute, but if you were to have a dispute, the venue provision addresses where you would have that heard, for example, in a court. So do you want to have that heard in your jurisdiction, or would you rather have it in another jurisdiction? So in communicating with this client, we talked about that, and I said, you're here, they've reached out to you, number one, and then number two, all of the work of the contract is being conducted in North Carolina. And for that reason, I would suggest that you keep North Carolina law as the venue. So obviously, there could be times when you'd want to choose another area of venue. That's possible. Or there may be another reason to have venue in another provision or another jurisdiction. But it's one of those things to think about. So we always tell clients, I would have that in your own jurisdictional area, wherever you're based and wherever the contract work is being conducted. And the other provision that oftentimes is in a contract, and we certainly suggest you do this and have this in your contract, is the choice of law provisions. So for example, we're in North Carolina. Let's just say the venue is in North Carolina, but for some reason, someone wants to use, say, Delaware law or Philadelphia or Pittsburgh or some other area, right? They say, I want to use the law of Pennsylvania. Or I want to use the law of Tennessee or whatever it may be. It could be any state. Would you want to do that in your own contract? Well, if your company is based in North Carolina, you're doing the work in North Carolina, why would you want to use the law of another state? And if you're going to have the case heard in North Carolina, it makes sense to have the choice of law to probably be North Carolina. If you're a North Carolina corporation and you're doing work in North Carolina, we would certainly tell you, have the choice of law provision to be North Carolina. These are just a couple of contract provisions that are in most contracts. We certainly suggest you put them in your contract. If you have any questions about it, please give us a call. We'll be glad to help you, and we hope this is helpful to you.